is a 6-time Connecticut Sportscaster of the Year. You missed the salsa, man. You were back in the green room. Didn't they pipe that thing into the green room?
I'm ready to let's dance.
Oh man, I was jamming. I was just like doing the whole.
I know you, Stan. You've got that rhythm and you got that soul.
I'm light on my feet. We all know that, right?
Well, I avoided that part of it.
2 left feet, right?
Yeah.
So listen, welcome, Sports Time. Good to have you back. You're a regular contributor here. Let's talk about the news this week. Big Lou Perkins. Former UConn AD, goes up to Kansas for bigger money, turns that program, adds more money. They win a national championship in basketball. Their football team's elevated. He's raised money. He's out under fire. But one of the probably one of the best sports administrators in America. Your thoughts on something?
Well, not just that, but he was recently named one of the top 35 business administrators in America. I think, actually, now that I think of it, I think that was in the world. So
Time Magazine, I think, yeah.
Time Magazine. It's an interesting thing because his legacy at Kansas is almost identical to his legacy at UConn, where he came in marketing and, increased the marketing, increased the profiles, and increased the athletic department budgets. And then the next thing you know, you have better facilities as a result. And he had national basketball champions at both Kansas and UConn, really increased the profile of the football programs, enhanced the overall football programs at both schools. So his legacy from that standpoint is going to be pretty much the same. Unfortunately, his legacy is going to be tied to and I say really unfortunately, some of the problems that emerged in the men's basketball program that we know about now weren't because of Lou Perkins, but because when he was here, the basketball program really didn't look like it needed a lot of oversight, and he had to put most of his efforts and most of his focus on elevating the football program because he understood that the future of the other sports programs at UConn hung in the balance.
It's fair to say that without Lou Perkins, you don't have a UConn big-time football. You don't have UConn playing Michigan. You don't have UConn beating Notre Dame in South Bend. Without Lou Perkins, who pushed and pushed and pushed, that never happens. Arguably the most important sports figure in the state, including Gino and Jim and Calhoun.
But because he came in at a time when it had to happen, it was either going to happen or it wasn't going to. And if it didn't, you would have seen a downgrading in the basketball programs, the status of the basketball programs, if the football program had stayed Division 1A. So it was such an important thing for Lou to make happen that he really didn't have the oversight over the basketball program that maybe he should have.
Well, someone said, listen, it's unfair for you to say that since he left the program a long time ago. This is under Hathaway's watch with the UConn program. Now, he had his own issues at Kansas with the football program. And some would say that whatever happened here with UConn basketball, that's Jeff Hathaway's issue. Perkins down in Kansas had his own issues, including a ticket scandal.
But I think what happened with UConn basketball happened as a result of a culture that was developed within UConn basketball.
You're saying he laid the foundation for it?
Well, I don't think he was responsible for it, but I think the fact that he had to focus so much of his attentions elsewhere allowed a culture to develop in UConn basketball that we now are seeing the results of.
How about a Kansas then? Ticket scandal there. He's leaving a year early. He's 65 years old. He had planned to retire next year, but is leaving early. Scandal there. Does that taint his legacy, or will time heal all
Well, I think it does. And again, he has not been named in the scandal himself. He's not a part of either investigation, the NCAA or FBI investigation. And again, he was really left to take charge of some areas that really needed work. And again, football was a primary focal point because Kansas football was really starting to wane. It was going down the tubes. And right now, and this is the thing that Lou understands, football drives the NCAA right now.
That's the cash cow.
Right. Your football program, the rest of your programs go as your football program goes. And I know that if Jim Calhoun's watching, he doesn't want to hear this, but Randy Edsall is the big man on campus right now. And football does drive athletics on the big-time campus.
You mentioned football, UConn football now. Last week with Michigan, they're lost there. But again, it's the fact that UConn's playing Michigan in Michigan, a big deal. Your thoughts, early thoughts, they played yesterday, Saturday, but your thoughts so far, what you saw with the Michigan game with UConn?
Well, I think the big thing is the excitement that UConn football generates. The fact that it has such expectations for a program that's been Division 1A less than 10 years, has been to 4 bowl games, has won 3 of them.
You know, it's really funny that they play Michigan in Michigan. And before the game, people thought UConn could win the game.
Well, absolutely. UConn could have won that game. Stan, everybody, I've talked to so many people who, say if it hadn't been for that fumble, on the 3-yard line, but that wasn't it. They got into a 14-0 hole that they shouldn't have been in. Zach Frazier was passing his brains out. You have a drop ball that should have been caught at the 1-yard line. You have a drop ball on a wide open sideline pattern. You
like this team? This team going to be okay this year?
I like this team. I like this team a lot. I mean, they obviously have to do some work. Their defense kept getting caught off guard at Michigan. Third down was killing them on that one scoring drive from Michigan. They constantly, every sequence, every series went to a third down, and they constantly made the third down.
You got to catch the ball, Scott Gray. Look into your hands.
You have to catch the ball.
All right, let's segue down to Reggie Bush. Heisman situation, great running back. Scandal at USC. He's alleged to have taken money from agents. Surprise, surprise. He's the only one who's done that. My question
agents,
to you.
Plural.
Agents plural.
Yeah.
You're an opinion guy. Do you take away the guy's Heisman Trophy that he won in 2005 because of some agent indiscretions, alleged agents indiscretion? Do you yank the Heisman away from him?
I think the Heisman Committee is really up against the wall on this one, and I think they have to do it because Reggie Bush isn't going to get hurt by any of this. He's going to make his money in the pros. What came out was he signed with an agent after he finished his eligibility at USC, and now the other agents that he didn't sign with but had already given him and his family things, and they're expecting the return would be a signing. Now they all came out of the woodwork and said, wait a minute, I'm really getting left in the ditch on this one. And I think the people who are really being left in the lurch are the Heisman Trophy Committee. And I think that they have to, for the sake of their own integrity, they have to do something. Reggie's going to continue to make his money. He's going to be
move,
fine.
Though. You said real interesting precedent if you do. Yank the Heisman away.
75 years. It's never happened. But
and we're going to assume all of the other Heisman guys never took any money from an agent, never took any tickets, never got hooked up. And that's the problem I have. He got caught.
Now you've got to, he got caught, and I think you have to put a penalty out there that everybody understands. If I do the same and if I get caught, I'm going to lose that
price
trophy.
To pay. 30 seconds, 20 seconds. NFL kicks off Sunday. Here we are, big Sunday. Jets, Giants, Pats in 15 seconds. How are things shaking up for the locals?
Jets aren't as strong, I don't think, as people think they are.
They signed Ravis,
Darrell Ravis, and I think that was a divisive influence in camp that he held out for as long as he did. Look at Tom Brady, no contract with the Patriots. He didn't hold out. He's there every day. That's going to work to the Patriots' advantage. Yes, I do.
Okay.
But Darrell Ravis can't cover both sides of the field. He can't cover everybody, and most teams have a lot of talented, skilled people. And I also think they're weak at left guard, which is a very, very tough place for them to be weak when you're trying to protect a young quarterback.
And some may whisper they're weak at quarterback, truth be told, right? Young quarterback, is he really the guy yet? Pats, real quick, Brady and the boys' young team. Darius Butler, 15 seconds.
I still look at the Patriots as a team you have to beat in the AFC East. And as far as the Giants are concerned, this is a team that could be really great. It's a team that could be really bad. They could be really great if everybody stays healthy because they are a good team. But I don't think they're deep enough that if they start getting piled on with injuries that they can sustain being great.
Story of their life. He's Scott Gray to be TIC, a regular contributor. When we come back, we'll have our entertainment attorney, James Walker. He tells us about a very interesting age discrimination suit against one of hip-hop's biggest stars. Don't go away.